The Chicago Bears lost Sunday's game against the San Francisco 49ers 33-22, but it isn't the final score that really matters in the 2021 season for the Bears. It's instead all about Justin Fields and how he performs and grows as a player from week to week. And in week 8, we saw the best of Fields so far. I'm Bryan Perez from the Draft Network, here to recap what the Chicago Bears first-round quarterback did this week, and let's just say it was his arrival game. Justin Fields ran for 103 yards, which is the most from any Bears quarterback since 1973. He threw for 175 yards. He had a touchdown pass. He did throw an interception. That was more of a desperation play late in the game, trying to get the Bears back in it. But man, this guy was just dazzling at times. Some of the plays he made with his legs, escaping pressure from the pocket. His 22-yard touchdown run was probably one of the plays of the year, no matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the running back is, no matter who the guy scoring the touchdown is. It was that special of a play from Fields. And let's face it, this is exactly the type of performance that the Chicago Bears were hoping from when what they were hoping to get from Justin Fields when they drafted him with the 11th overall selection in the 2021 draft. This is the kind of performance that Bears fans have been craving from a quarterback since basically forever. Yes, it's a loss, but nobody cares in Chicago. It's not about whether or not the Bears make the playoffs this year. This is not a contender. This is not a team that's going to even compete for a wild card spot, let alone a Super Bowl bid. Matt Nagy's on a short leash. He's probably going to be fired at the end of the season. Who knows if Ryan Pace will be around. So this all comes down to making sure that the Bears have it right at quarterback. So games like Sundays against the 49ers, the win, the loss, the final score, the box score, it doesn't matter. Instead, what matters with Justin Fields is that he has moments like he had on Sunday. Moments that you know only a few players in this league can create. Plays that only a few guys can make. Special players at the most important position. That's what Justin Fields did on Sunday. Forget about the loss. Forget about the fact he only threw for 175 yards. None of that means anything, especially for a franchise that's been looking for a quarterback that they can hang their future on for decades. Now that guy is Justin Fields. He's had a bumpy road up to this point. 2 touchdowns with 6 interceptions coming into week 8. He's been pressured. He started to look like he was seeing ghosts in the pocket after last week's really terrible performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was a really important game for Justin Fields as well as for the entire Bears organization. It was a get-right opportunity to defeat the 49ers, who were also having a little bit of a tailspin of their own. So the Bears still are trending downward from a season standpoint, but Justin Fields is right back on track to being the player that the Bears thought he was. This was a great game by Fields, without question his best game of the season, and one that Bears fans can feel very optimistic about, that Bears fans can feel very good about, that they have the guy. It's still there's still a lot of games left in this season. There's 9 more games for the Bears to play, 9 more opportunities, barring good health and that Fields can avoid an injury. But there's 9 games left for Fields to stack more positive outings together. If he can keep playing the way he played this week, again, even if the Bears lose, it's not going to matter what their final record is. They're going to go into the 2022 offseason and then the 2022 season as a team on the rise, simply because of games like today. I don't want to use the name Lamar Jackson necessarily, because Lamar Jackson is a standard that's almost impossible to meet. He is such a unicorn at the position. But Justin Fields felt a little bit like the young Lamar Jackson that we saw when he was a rookie, when he was making plays with his legs, and eventually his arm began to catch up. The skill players got a little better. Mark Andrews' development, getting guys like Marquise Brown on the outside. When the skill players started catching up to Lamar Jackson's talent, you see him evolving the way he has as a passer. Justin Fields reminded me so much of that Lamar Jackson rookie and early second-year guy. And that has to have Bears fans excited. Now, I don't want to, again, create that unreasonable or too lofty of an expectation to say Fields is trending like a Lamar Jackson, but it's hard not to see that with the way Fields played on Sunday.